Just under 30,000 Texas students withdrew from public or charter schools to switch to homeschooling in the 2021-22 school year. It's a record high, according to data from the Texas Homeschool Coalition. It's a nonprofit promoting and advocating for homeschooling here in the state. And here to talk with us about those numbers is Jeremy Newman, the Vice President of Policy and Engagement for the THSC. Jeremy, thank you so much for taking some time to speak with us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me on.
So before we get to why these numbers are what they are, this data is lagging. It's from the 21-22 school year, and we're now obviously in fall of 2023, so we've got a gap there. Why don't we have up-to-date numbers?
Yeah, the Texas Education Agency releases the numbers about a year late, so we're not going to know the numbers for the 22-23 school year until the spring of this coming year.
Very good. So this only tracks withdrawals for kids in 7th to 12th grade. But you argue many people withdraw kids before they reach 7th grade. So what do you think the actual number of withdrawals is? Is it significant?
I think it is significant. So this is certainly anecdotal because we don't have the hard numbers from the TEA, but in our experience, the lower grade levels are the most prominent grade levels where families choose to withdraw. And so if the total number were north of 40,000 or higher, that would not surprise me at all.
We know that there are a number of reasons that you guys point to for parents withdrawing their kids from a public or a charter school to going to homeschool. Health, safety, those are a few of the reasons. Is there a chance this is the result of the pandemic, this record high, and now that those concerns aren't as prevalent when it comes to COVID-19, that the new data, when it comes out, will show a return to classrooms?
Well, there's always a chance, of course, right? But that was actually the theory that everyone had for the data we just got, right? So in the 2020-2021 school year, there was this high across the whole nation, right, where homeschooling hit the highest numbers that it had ever been at, doubled or tripled in Texas. And then the theory was that by the next school year, it was going to be back down to pre-pandemic levels. Well, that's not what happened at all, right? What happened instead is that the next school year, after COVID was done with, the numbers were the same. So it's of course possible that they'll change again, in the coming school year, but in terms of the trend that we have based on the data that we can see now, it doesn't appear that homeschooling is going down. And so my intuition tells me that what we're looking at is something more like a new normal than it is going to be a return to pre-pandemic numbers.
We know, obviously, your group, you advocate for homeschooling. So if you can, what are some of the benefits of homeschooling, knowing that you're still going to pay taxes to school districts, whether your children attend them or not?
Yeah, so there are a lot of specific reasons that people would give based on their family background. Some of them have purely academic motivations. Some of them have more religious-oriented motivations for homeschooling. But there are at least two big picture things that stand out to me that I think really were made obvious from COVID. And that is that people want a form of education that is stable and flexible at the same time. Homeschooling has that. And what people saw during COVID is that the public school isn't that. And so the whole system went through crisis and there was no stability, no flexibility. And what people have to realize is that individual families experience that on a singular level all the time, right? When they lose transportation, lose a job, someone gets sick, things like that, your whole schedule gets upended. And the one thing that's not flexible is your public school education schedule. And everything has to revolve around that. But in homeschooling, it's not like that. You can adapt a tremendous amount to the needs of your family and the changing needs in your environment. And I think that is a huge attraction to a lot of people.
Well, I can't wait to see what the data from the TEA is, and we'll see if this is a new trend or just a flash in the pan. Jeremy Newman with the Texas Homeschooling Coalition, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.